Hello and welcome to track guide and the time trial guide this time for the Road America and the Bentley Speed 8, which is the current time trial of Slightly Made Studios. Um, I will be racing my own Ghost, which is currently P1 on the leaderboard, and hope you and will tell something about lines, about braking points, about turning points, something about setup. So stay tuned and watch. First, we're going to approach the start finish line. The first lap I will show you in the cockpit view. This is going to be a 1:48.2. So for the first corner, it's very important to hit your marks and to be as soon as possible on the throttle again. Brake marker. There. It's really difficult to get a brake marker here. You just need to do it with the feeling because there is no real brake marker. There's there's a one on the left side, which you can orientate yourself, and it's pretty hard. This corner for me is pretty hard because there are no real brake markers. If we repeat it again, but it's a little bit in front of the where the rubber starts to begin on the left. You can see the black rubber at the corner, and it's a little bit in front. It's between, yeah, a little bit in front of that, and then you're turning in and going as soon as possible on the throttle. And also try to keep it clean. You don't need to cut to achieve top times. So as you can see, I was only with not even with two wheels off the white line there. This run-off zone after the first turn, it doesn't make you slower, it makes you a bit faster, but we're talking about like 0.05 or something like that, like 500 or something like that, nothing major. But again, first two corners, brake at the beginning of the rubber, turn in, hit the curb, hit the apex, straight on the gas again. Now for the second corner there I use the rubber again, slightly in front of the black rubber on the track. I start to brake. And also it's very important, as you can see here, I broke a little bit too late, so I'm not at the curb on the inside, I'm a little bit off of the curb. So I can accelerate later out of the corner, which costs me quite a bit of time. As you can see, I was ahead of my Ghost, and now I can accelerate, keep it also in the right lines. No reason to go wide there, just to anger people. And you can see the Ghost pulling away because that was not the. It's a consequence of braking too late that you can go later on the throttle, and because of that you are losing on the straight. It's a really important corner. Try to get as early as on the throttle as possible. Try, if you are not consistent with this corner, try braking earlier and always get on the throttle as soon as possible, and then you can adjust your braking point after that. It's more important to get the exit right than to get the entry right. Now we are approaching the hairpin. You should reach about 300 kilometers per hour. 302, I guess. 302 is the perfect number if you get the exit, or 303 if you get the exit right. And then brake at the just a little bit in front of the 2 on the right side of the screen here. Brake there. Brake hard. Now when you're turning in, reduce the brake pressure. It does not matter if you're running ABS or not. Reduce the brake pressure because it helps with turning in. Also try not to hit the curb like I did here, because it actually costs you more time than it helps. This one was fine, but you don't want to hit the gray curbing on the inside. That costs you more time. And get as soon as possible on the straight. This was a really good corner. Also, you can use the exit curb here, but please use only two. Please only use it with two wheels. Also, when you're using it, that's why I like this time. So when you're using it with 4 wheels, most of the time, if you are not completely straight while going on it, you will lose time. So now accelerating out, and you can see here the braking point is before. You need to brake before the track goes flat again, because if you brake at the hill, on top of the hill, you can do it, the car will get unstable. So brake earlier and choose a tighter line than braking late. Yeah, and then again tight apex, turning in, and get as soon as possible on the gas again. You can see on my best lap I won right there, not right, I managed to keep all 4 wheels on the curb, and I guess, but it costs me time. As you can see, I'm now closing on my ghost. That's why I like this time trial. When you are going wide and cutting and stuff like that, it actually costs you time most of the time, except for turn 1, I guess. But yeah, next corner, it's a fast right-hander, and it's very important to stay as close as possible to at the left side and really hit the apex, because you just need to lift a little bit. You don't have to lift the throttle full, you just have to go with 75% of throttle through this right-hander if you get it right. If you get it wrong, you probably have to brake or something like that. It's really, really important to hit your marks there. And my mark is also, you can see it here. It's very hard to see, but the beginning of the gray is my mark. I want to hit that because my setup is a little bit more under series, so I know if I want to hit it, I will go a little bit further, just a little bit, and then I hit it right here. This was a little that was too much on the inside of the curb, and I get massive oversteer because the car gets unstable, and I need to correct it, losing a lot of time actually, and not a lot of time, but I'm losing time compared to my ghost. I catched up again, but yeah. So next corner, hard braking after the rubber starts. Every time before it was before the rubber starts, now it's after the rubber starts a little bit, just a little bit. Really hard braking, tray braking into this corner. I like to tray brake this corner. I don't know why. I never use tray braking at all, besides from the hairpin, but on this corner and on this track. But yeah, tray brake into that. If you don't know what tray braking is, it's when you go hard on the throttle, and instead of releasing the throttle before turning in fully, you are releasing it slowly, meaning you have a little bit of oversteer and turning in the car, which allows you to hit your apex better and to rotate the car more, so you can accelerate faster out of the corner. I messed up here with the tray braking. I got understeer instead of oversteer, and so my ghost is gone. I won right. Next corner, the carousel. It's actually in this high downforce cars, it's a lot simpler than in low downforce cars, like for example the GT3s, because in high downforce cars it's all about just stay as close as possible to the inside without losing too much speed. That's the main goal of this corner. So it's actually one of the few corners where you actually balancing the throttle is a good thing. Normally it's always a bad thing. It's always better to just let the car roll and not to balance the throttle, but in this special case it's a balancing of the throttle to keep you on the inside and to lose don't lose speed at all. Actually, you're actually accelerating from this point on. From this point on, you're just accelerating out of the corner. And yeah, also obviously you need to have a good setup for that, but you don't want to lose on the straight, so it's a medium thing. First I was running low downforce, now I'm running medium downforce. So yeah, because every time I was running low downforce, I was struggling. I was dominating the first sector compared to the other guys, and then they are just passing me on the carousel because I was driving it like a GT3 car, which is making the corner 2 corners and just dive bombing in and then accelerating out. But with more downforce, you can balance it here nicely to the corner and accelerate earlier out of the corner, meaning you lose less time. Next right-hander is just flat out shift before it, because it can happen if you shift up that the car gets unstable, and short shifting is no problem in a car with 800 horsepower, so it's actually a good thing. I short shift quite a lot in this car. So yeah, then that's the most difficult corner for me. I know there are a lot of brake markers, but I don't know, for some reason I don't use this brake marking shields at all. I use it in the hairpin, but now I'm using also something on the track, which is the rubber again, a little bit in front of the rubber, like you can see here. And then it's very important to get as close as possible to the inside, because every car I drove has massive understeer in this corner. So hit it here on the inside. That was the perfect spot to hit it, because now you're going outside, you're going straight outside and hopefully hit the grass. But I overdrove the car. From now on, I was so close to my ghost. I knew I've had not the best sector, the last sector in my fastest lap. So I wanted to push really hard, and I'm just beginning to overdrive the car now. I was too early on the throttle. I went too wide. I need to open the steering because of that, because I got a little bit of oversteer. Now, yeah, this happens, gets the car really unstable because I'm hitting the grass. I need to correct a lot of times. And also next left-hander, of course, is full throttle. Shifting into fifth. I did it too late there, so I got a little bit of oversteer because I got too much power on fourth. Normally I shift before the corner into fifth, so it's easier to keep the car stable. But as I said, I overdrove the car really hard in this last sector. So, yeah. Now last corner approaching. The yellow thingy on the left side is a braking marker. A little bit before it, because if you do it like I did here, you can run right. So yeah, I run right, as you can see on my fastest lap. I was inside the white lines. Also again oversteer, correcting, and that was one lap. That was a 148.29, as you can see on the dashboard. So yeah, then for setup, ABS I think is a must-have if you want to compete, because not that it's faster, but it's makes your times more consistent. And if you want to push for a place in the top 10, you need to be consistent, because it won't happen. Everyone thinks there's the magic lap where you instantly are on the limit. It won't happen. You need to be consistent first and then get a good lap. Then traction control and stability control. I did a 48.4 without traction control and without stability control. I can do low 40s, 48s and high 47s without traction control. But stability control, in my opinion, lets you gain 1 second. And also, if you are driving, it depends on driving style. If you're really aggressive, put traction control on. If you're not aggressive, leave traction control out. When you're really smooth, you can leave it. But the stability control, in my opinion, gains you a lot of time and makes you more consistent. But yeah, it doesn't feel right to drive with it, but you need to do it when you want to be competitive, or you are 1 second faster than all the other guys, which can be. But yeah, so my opinion, traction control does not matter, but it does matter if you are going into your setup. When you're going into your setup, Um, do the normal time trial things, close the radiator. The brake duct, I don't know, if you're really good in hot lapping, keep him at 0 and do 1 lap, or keep him at 10% or 15 was the best for me because I want to have it after the long straight for this breaking point. But if you are some of the guys, and I'm also one of the guys who is actually faster in his second lap or in his third lap, then just leave it at 25, 30 or something like that. It doesn't matter. It's 1/10 maybe, but you will get faster in the second or third lap if you are used to it. Then 1/10 brings you from the closed radiator. Also, when you have it fully closed, like 0%, you will get in trouble in the hard braking zone for the last corner and for this thing about right-hander on the after the long straight, the back straight. Also, springs and dampers are fully up to you on this track, I think. You need to go with the low ride height, that's for sure, but you can't go super soft. So you can't go super soft because this track is obviously a little bit bumpy. But and you can't go super soft, but you can go from really, really soft to really, really hard on the springs, depending on your driving style. It only depends on your driving style. I've tested like literally from very soft to very hard, and yeah, I'm more comfortable with hardish settings, but I'm somewhat in the middle, and yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can drive it with soft if you want to. Same goes for dampers. And what else? Of course, fuel is regulated to 5 liters. Aero, I told already about it. When you're first going to do some laps and you're not comfortable with the track and you're not pushing 100%, go with low aero so you can gain on the straights a bit. If you're really comfortable and just fine tuning your lap times, go with medium aero or high aero. So high aero is a bit too much, I guess. I think I've got done 5 on the front and 7 on the back. And then tire pressures, I put them down to 1.4 on the front and 1.5 on the back. So I can do 2 or 3 laps without tires getting wet. Also, camber I put down to 2.0 and 1.1. 2.0 on the front and 1.1 on the back. And then what else? Yeah, LSD, of course. Everyone likes to keep the LSD secrets, but that's the main thing where traction control is different from no traction control, but it actually doesn't make a difference. This car is so quick on steering that you can run LSD from 100 to 0% and you will always get the corners right. So when you are traction control off, you can put LSD acceleration on like 70% and it feels the same like you are driving with traction control on. And if you're driving with traction control on, you can put it to 22% or something like that. I think I'm 31 or something like. Okay, I don't want to tell it. It's something between 30 and 40, and it's fine tuning for me at the moment. But yeah, you can put it there and drive with traction control on. Traction control slip also depends on your driving style. If you are really early on acceleration, let the car put it down, and if you are more light on acceleration, put it up. So I actually like this time trial because there are a lot of setups who work and there are a lot of things that can work. Also, dampers, I have no clue. I have no clue about dampers. I just put them accordingly to the springs. If I run hard springs, I run softer dampers, and if I run, but I never changed anything in front and back. Always keep the stock setup with the difference between if there is a difference. Most of them that's the same number, but if there is a difference, I just kept that and I don't change anything about it. So yeah, that was my lab. If you want to see it, now we can see it from here, I guess. Starting. So again, I will talk about lab in a fast matter. Also, this red car bug is just a red car bug. It doesn't make it faster. But so now braking hard. It's also important to shift fast in this car because it literally has no downshift issues. You can just ram it into the into the gears. Yeah, doesn't matter. Deceleration log, I forgot deceleration log, I got at 24. And the vicious log, or what it is called, I have at 55 or 50. I don't know. I changed it one time, but I never changed. As you can see, brake duct at 10% or something like that lets your brake disc glow quite a bit. And yeah, it also, I think I was running in this one, I was running brake duct 0. As you can see, and in my best lap I was running like 25. As you can see, it doesn't make a difference on the straight or something like that, or arrow, but it makes a difference now after the long straight where I out brake myself even though I hit my marks. That's something to keep in mind. As you can see, I'm not braking later than he does, but I'm running wider, so yeah. I was struggling there, and the same goes for the next corner. So my personal opinion is keep brake duct at something like 24%. I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess some people might be mad because I'm sharing it, but yeah, for you. I don't think a lot of people can go faster, but maybe a few, and if they do, it's my fault. So enjoy setting up your car, enjoy running this track, and hopefully we will see you on the leaderboard. And if you liked the video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much.